emphasis for you, and just what was your approach to that game, that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that going into it, how physical they are, as you mentioned. A lot of times, most of the times they brought 4 dudes to the glass every time. They got big forwards. Obviously, they have Cliff at the center. They got big wings too. So I think it was just all about matching their physicality, especially when it comes to rebounding. They're a great offensive rebounding team, and we've kind of struggled a bit in that terms, in terms of rebounding as a whole. So that was definitely a big point of emphasis. And, I think for the most part, obviously we had a few lapses here and there, but I think for the most part, that combined with only having 3 turnovers, we were able to do a pretty good job.
How important is it for you to just kind of be the energy guy on the glass? Your effort and physicality and things like that?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing for me that I can contribute. Obviously, Willie got in foul trouble early, so having to be, the first guy off the bench, whatever day it was, Saturday, Friday, whatever day it was. I had to come in and, be ready, be prepared to bring that energy, like you said.
Coach Painter has mentioned a couple times that idea of embracing the physicality. I thought you guys weren't doing it. That's how he's brought it up a couple times. Like, they need to do it more. Is that something that you can work on through practice? Is it something that just you have to have that mindset that night? Is it just flipping the switch individually?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, if you never work on it, you probably don't know how to do it. So we definitely work on it, in practice with drills and stuff. But I think it also goes to, mentally locking in, understanding what they excel at and what they're trying to do, which for them, obviously was offensive rebounding, and then stepping up to the challenge with that.
How comfortable are you and Braden together in that ball screen stuff? You've
Yeah.
been pretty effective on those slips.
Yeah, obviously Braden's such a great player, such a great scorer, such a great passer, so he makes it easy on us, he makes it easy on me. We just play around him, and we go through it before the games a lot, saying in this situation, we're going to screen real hard to the rim. In this situation, we're going to get into a short roll. In this situation, we'll pop. This situation, we'll slip. So it's definitely a big emphasis in our practices, and I think so far we've been able to incorporate it pretty well in games.
Talked to a few people who've said that the atmosphere on Friday night was like maybe the best that they'd ever seen in Mackey. You've seen a lot of games there. Did anything stick out? Was it like special to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely up there for sure. I would say just the energy. Obviously, we know and we trust the fans that, I don't think I've ever had a home game or any game that, wasn't a sellout. In my 3.5, going to be 4 years, and I think it's going to probably stay that way. So, I mean, the fans definitely bring a huge boost, and, I think they know that when it's a big game and a big-time team coming in, they definitely do their part to help for sure.
As you go into this Marquette game, have you come to appreciate the fact you've never lost a non-conference game?
I have a little bit, for sure. And, obviously that's, a streak that I hope to continue and, hopefully stay undefeated throughout my whole career in non-conference.
What stood out to you about Miles' game Friday night against Alabama?
Yeah, I would say just him being locked into the scouting report, locked into the plan. Obviously, I don't think he took a shot. If I recall, he didn't. Yeah. But, he was still doing all the things offensively that we needed him to do. And then, I saw he got a lot of well-deserved praise defensively as well for, guarding Mark Sears. Obviously, that's not a very easy guard, and doing as well of a job that he did on him as he did.
A lot of times that gets brought up, the idea of like young guys learning not to play through their offense, but that would also seem to be like an obvious default thing, because all of you always grew up being like the best scorers on every team you probably played on. Is that kind of what happens, that as a young guy, even as you're learning all this stuff, you just naturally default to what you know best or what you're most confident in?
Yeah, I think it,